Hey guys, just thought I'd come on here and do an update. Sorry about my last video, it was just an emotional mess. Some things have happened since then, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride, so I'm going to say some things on here that might be a trigger for some people, but I'm trying to be pretty, open about this, and so if you're triggered by talking about abuse or anything like that, then don't watch this video. I'm going to talk about some things in my past and counseling visits. So anyhow, I'll get into it. I guess the last video I said that my husband asked me for a divorce, and then later he was saying that, later he went to the counselor and then talked to the counselor and by himself, and then was thinking, well, maybe he's not opposed to the idea of kids, that maybe it's just because the relationship's so bad right now, that's why. And he was thinking about giving it 6 months. And at that time I had come to the acceptance that I was getting divorced. So it was just kind of like, what? And I guess, sorry, my hair. It's a crazy day. And I guess that trust just isn't there for me, because like who I was before I had the surgery and who I am now are two different people. Like the person I was before surgery, which is, I guess, was kind of desperate and open to forgiving and forgetting, but never really forgot. Like, hid it down inside of me, and I didn't speak up about my feelings, and I don't know if I'm explaining that right. And then now it's like, thinking about the past, it's like, well, you hurt me and I'm not going to stand for that now, Like, I guess the person I was would just kind of, let people walk all over me, because I thought, my self-esteem was so low. I thought that's the only relationship I'm ever going to get, so I got to make it work no matter what, And then now it's like, now I feel strong and empowered, and like I have a decision in my life, because before I didn't feel like I had a decision in my life. Like, I was so sick, I was in bed rest, and I didn't really feel in control of my life. And then now it's like I'm getting back my physical health and working on my mental health. It's still a work in progress, obviously, but now I find myself speaking up when things bother me, especially when it comes to relationships. Like, if he did something that bothered me, I'd let him know about it, and maybe not in the best way, but anyhow, I completely forgot what I was talking about. I think I need to go get some coffee. Be right back. Sorry about that. I had to get some protein coffee. I'm just feeling kind of drained. Hoping it helps. Don't mind my World of Warcraft cup. It's my protein coffee in there. Anyways, I think I was talking about, being two different people. Sorry, I don't know why my throat's all weird. And anyways, I was struggling with that whole 6-month thing, and it was just kind of like a throwback. Like, what do you mean you want to work things out? I thought you didn't want kids ever, and then now it's a maybe. And so I was talking to my counselor about this, and she says it's kind of like he's dangling a carrot, like, like, here's the prize, So what I ended up doing, like, I was so reserved for so many days, and I'm like, this isn't right. I should probably just leave. I'd go out shopping, and I'd see, guys with families. I'm thinking, I want a family guy, not someone who's whatever he's going through. I don't know. I try to get him to go to the counselor to talk about it, but he just says he doesn't have that drive in him that wants kids. He wants like a relaxed, home, quiet, sip your wine and look out at the garden kind of life. And for me, I guess I'm a different person, and to me that sounds boring. I want to get out and enjoy life. I never got to do that before, and like on my days off, I want to go out and go to the park or go bike riding, mini golf. I don't know, do things that, being a bigger person, I never would have done. I never got the chance to. And for him, he's just like, he doesn't want to experience that with me. And that really hurts. Kids thing aside, it's like we're two different people. I get he doesn't like roller coasters, right? Not everyone likes roller coasters, but if it was me, I'd, go hold a bag if he wanted to go skydiving and I didn't want to, or something, I'd still be present there, if that makes sense. But for him, he's just, no, I'm not gonna go, no part of it, and that bothers me. Like, am I wrong to be bothered, like, by that? And I feel almost like I'm allowing him to hold me back. And I got the second chance with surgery to go out and enjoy life. There's that phrase going around in the community of get out and live, and I feel like I'm not getting out and living. Like, there's certain things that I've come to a conclusion with counseling of what do I want in life, what's going to make me happy, and having a family, having a house, that's things that's going to make me happy. Having a career, that's going to make me happy. And writing a book, that's going to make me happy. But, that's a work in progress, and another video for that. But anyways, I think I got off track. But he just seemed so close to everything I want to do, and I don't want to just sit around the house all day, I had enough of that when I was, over 300 pounds, miserable. And I guess maybe that's why I don't like sitting around the house, is because I remember sitting around being miserable, and I don't want any part of being miserable now. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody out there, but and I ended up, maybe out of guilt, I don't know, or feeling pressured into making a decision, because he was pressuring me, saying, you need to make a decision, you need to do this, you need to, saying he doesn't know how to act around me because I haven't made a decision. And then, I kind of said, don't rush me, you can't rush me on this, this is why I'm reserved. And then we got into this huge argument, man, and it was awful. Like, I would just say all the things why I'm hurt, and then he would, throw back why he's hurt. It was pretty awful. But I don't know if I mentioned about, the elephant in the room when it came to my relationship, but I'll mention it now. When I was, in the last place I lived before my surgery, I had gotten real sick. And before that, both my parents passed away from cancer, and for me that was really hard. The only sibling I had kind of blamed me for the last one, saying, I'm not going to go into that, it's not important, but so I felt like all my family had left, so I was depressed, and I put on more weight. I ended up diagnosed with diabetes and the heart failure, and I ended up being stuck in a bed. Because when I'd move around, I couldn't breathe, couldn't care for myself, that kind of thing. And a few months after my mom passed away, which was, first my father passed away, and then a few years later my mom passed away. And a few months after that, my husband decided to leave in the middle of the night while I was sleeping and fly back to New Zealand. I found out from a text, because it finally was like 4 p.m. I'm like, hey, are you coming home from work? What's up? Did you have to work late? That kind of thing. And then it was that. And it was hard. Not just because the whole breakup shock, but I had zero money to my name. I had to live off of the pudding I had in the fridge because he cashed out his money and then went back, and we had just used all my money to pay the rent. And I had whatever I had in the fridge had to last me a few weeks, so it was living off of a single serving, one of those Jello pudding things those snack ones. I live off one of those like a week, and that was rough. And then the depression kicked in, and well, I'm not going to go into that, but that's just a dark time I don't want to go into right now. But I ended up doing something stupid. I'll just leave it at that. And ever since then, I couldn't trust him when he came back. Because I feel like, who does that to a person? Like, I felt like, man up and just say you want to break up. Why not, But, now I'm off track again. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's just an emotional roller coaster right now. I thought I could forgive him, and I tried really hard, and now I feel like this different person. Before I was like, yeah, come back. Like I said before, I felt like I had to, like that was the only relationship I'm ever gonna get, and I honestly didn't think I'd live past 30. So maybe that had something to do with it, but I think it was mostly my self-esteem, or lack thereof. But now I know better. At least I think I know better. I don't know. I'm still a work in progress, but anyhow, I felt like when he said how he wanted to try things again, like he's dangling that carrot. Like, I guess it's the lack of trust that I have for him. And like, other than the leaving, it was he takes out a bank account without even asking me. And he doesn't think that it's a red flag, but it is. But yeah. And so I felt hurt by that. Trying to work around it, but I really don't trust, And then I decided, 6 months is too long, and I thought about, I'm not living. Quit being so reserved. Just, put yourself out there and give it a go. Because if not, you're just going to, end up wondering. And so, maybe I was out of guilt. I don't know. Or pressure. I don't know. So I decided to do that. And then we talked about some things and said it's not going to be like it was. I suggested, one day a week have a date. Get to know each other like we're brand new dating, because we obviously are two different people now than when we first met. I went over this thing in counseling of writing down all the things that I liked about him in the beginning, and then taking a look to see which ones are still there, and there's none that are still there. And that was kind of like an eye-opener for me. And kind of like, well, who is this? Who am I even married to? And then, who am I? So I'm not the same person, obviously, but yeah. And then there was another red flag this first week, because this is coming on the first week. Tomorrow will be the end of it. I told him, because I have a past of sexual abuse, about when I was a kid, and then the previous relationship before this, I guess I didn't even think of it of like rape or anything, but that was like an eye-opener yesterday at counseling. Like, I guess that is what it was, because it was forced, because I did say no, but I guess I always thought, since we're in a relationship, it doesn't count. Like, I don't know, my brain was all screwed up back then, and low self-esteem, it just eats at you. Low self-esteem is just awful. It really plays with your perspectives, and then you end up turning everything onto yourself and end up depressed, which is even more awful, but anyways. So yeah. Like, with my husband now, I can't do it from behind, if that makes sense. Like, not the butt way, but like, I guess doggy style, whatever it's called. I don't even know. And I told him why. I said it triggers me because, you know, I was abused like that. And then this week we ended up having sex again, and several times he still keeps trying to do it that way. And the way he does it is like, oh, maybe let's try it. And I'm thinking, like, dude, I just told you this is a trigger for me. Why are you doing this? And I thought, well, maybe I'll try. Because I mentioned before I thought I was still a virgin. Well, that's not true. Turns out I have vaginismus, which, if you don't know, you can Google it. It's basically everything tightens up to hell. You don't have control over it, and then if you're anxious about it, and it tightens up even more, and it ain't happening. Deep penetration ain't happening. And I noticed, you know, a few months back, he was just like, oh, it's like we never had sex because I couldn't get it in all the way. So that kind of bothered me, like, I don't know. And then I told the counselor, and she's like, I am so sorry, you know, that just shows that he doesn't respect you. And I'm just like, I never thought of it like that. I thought it was just like me, like, you know, but I guess, you know, that is a red flag. And, you know, I'm so glad I'm going to counseling now, because she, like, shows me things that maybe I don't want to believe, or I'm just in denial about, or I think, like, that low self-esteem gets in the way, because it's still kind of there, and I'm fighting with it right now with the depression. But I'm so glad I'm going to counseling, because she just pointed that out to me, you know, and I'm just like, wow, that is so right. You know, and it's not right to do that. So I told him that yesterday, and then like, I saw him kind of trick to the side, like, you know, like he was upset about it, or like I just envisioned him saying, that's not it, you know, getting upset like he usually does when I say, this shows when you do this is how it makes me feel, kind of thing. And no, that's not it. Like, he invalidates how I feel or something. I don't know. And I got a few worksheets from my counselor. Let me go get them. I'll be right back.